Big question in real estate in Chicagoland right now is, do I buy now and potentially stretch my budget because interest rates aren't quite where I want them to be? Or do I wait until interest rates come down? And I think there's a lot to unpack here. It's not a simple, clear-cut answer. A lot of it's going to depend on you as a person, your comfort level, and how you want to manage your finances. When I talk about, do I want to buy now? What I hear a lot of people say is, I'd love to buy a house, we need more space, however, interest rates are high. Or I have this other financial obligation. It could be student loans that are going to be paid off in a year. It could be I'm going to get a large bump in income at work in 18 months. It could be daycare, right? If you know that your financial situation is going to change drastically in the near future, you may lean towards waiting. And it's important to know that there's some pros and cons to that. Of course, the biggest con is that when you go to purchase, you're going to feel more comfortable with the purchase or you're going to have more buying power. And that's great. The cons to waiting are that historically speaking, properties appreciate year over year. And if you wait to purchase until you've got that raise, until you're no longer paying daycare, you're most likely going to be buying into a more expensive market. And there's something to be said about buying now and kind of holding on for your dear life in the short term because you know there's a light at the end of the tunnel. You know there's a guaranteed promotion coming. You know that you're no longer going to be paying daycare. You know that you are going to have your student loans are going to be paid off. And there's something to be said about buying now, buying a home that you can afford now, even if it's a little snug, and understanding that down the line, your income will likely go up and you'll have the opportunity to refinance when interest rates come down, thus making your home more affordable in the long run and allowing you to capitalize on the increased home values that come over time. Now, I don't want this to be misconstrued as saying go stretch your budget, buy a house right now. That's the best decision for everyone. It's not. But it's something to consider if your only hesitation is either interest rates are high or I know that in a very short period of time, I'm going to be looking at a vastly different financial situation. There are also times that it makes sense to hold tight. If your credit isn't great and you are going to be stretching yourself financially and thus that's going to take away from your ability to pay off debt, that may not make sense. That's something that you need to really look into. Think about how you manage your finances. Think about how you go about your day-to-day. Think about your spending tendencies and your relationship with money and think through all of those things because it may make sense for you to hold off and pay off debt until you go purchase a home.